What's going on, everyone? It's time for another sci-fi horror film review. Today we're actually going to be talking about Dark Skies, another Blumhouse film. It was released by Alliance Films February 22nd, 2013, and is produced by Jason Blum and written and directed by Scott Stewart, who did films like Legion, Priest, Holidays, and Shooting Fish. This had a box office of earnings of only $27.8 million, which I think it was like a moderate success because usually Blumhouse films are like $6 million range for the budget. So, yeah. But Dark Skies is a film. It's basically Signs mixed with Insidious. So, yeah, Dark Skies. There's a family in a rural town community that's being at first what they believe is being haunted by something. Pictures start missing and weird things start showing up, but then they learn later on that they're getting targeted by aliens and someone might be abducted. So it's the family tries to stick together and prevent it from happening, and it's following their ordeal of being tormented and visited by these aliens. So yeah. First off, the cinematography is really well done in this film, and the music is really good. Overall, I feel this film gets a bad rep for some reason. I understand it's pretty cliche and a little cheesy in some spots, even pretty funny and ridiculous in some spots when the aliens are trying to take control of the family and stuff like that. And that aspect, yeah, it's cheesy. I agree with that. But for the most part, this film actually does have some pretty gripping scenes in it and dark scenes. When you first see the aliens, when I first saw this, I thought it was a ghost. And then I realized, oh, it's actually supposed to be the Greys in that. And yeah, overall, I thought it looked pretty good, and the staging of the scares and stuff was actually pretty well done. It's pretty cool. It's definitely a different type of movie than I was expecting from Scott Stewart, though, because Legion and Priest are pretty dark movies and pretty violent. This is pretty tame and pretty more geared towards like teen audiences and stuff, which I think they'll enjoy. Also, I really enjoyed the ending in this and how they ended it. It's a ambiguous type of ending. Spoiler alert, by the way. But they definitely don't give you a conclusive ending. You don't know who gets, when you see the person get abducted, you don't know if they're coming back or not, and yet there's signs of it that they're trying to communicate. Like, they left it open-ended for a sequel, which I don't think they're actually doing, but yeah, but I thought it was pretty clever in that sense, and I actually pretty enjoyed this movie. I thought it was pretty fun and a pretty good dark tale with some cheesy elements into it. And the characters, some of them, they try to make them seem real serious, but they put the cheesiness in the beginning and like the more opening section of the film and in the first act and a little bit in the second act. So it kind of takes away from the tension that they're trying to build for the climax. And but overall, the effects look really good. The cinematography is really good. The music's good. The acting's pretty good too. And overall, I just thought it was a fun film. So I'm going to give Dark Skies a 3.5 out of 5. I actually think this movie is actually pretty good. That's why I own it. So, but yeah. Now, I'm not sure where it's streaming or anything, but I'll link the trailer down below so you can check that out down below. And also make sure you check out my Instagram that's linked down below. It's where I post clips of films I'm going to review. In the future, all my stories, you put the film title in there and some sort of like history thing or something about the film as well. So make sure you follow me on Instagram to see those. Also, make sure you check out my Letterbox. It's linked down below. That's where I post clips of films, or that's where I post my first star rating after watching the films. And my Twitter's down below. Reviews_Derek. So follow me on those platforms. Stay in loop with this channel. Also, my Letterbox is at Derek P Reviews. And so yeah. Make sure you like this video, share it so more people aware of it. Comment your opinions of the film down below if you have any. If you have any films or film franchises in any genre and on any streaming service I want to hear my opinions on in the future, comment those down below too. I'll try my best to get to them as soon as I can and if I can find them. And make sure you subscribe. Who will find something weird, obscure, and odd they probably never thought of checking out together. And also so you hear my opinions on popular films that have come out, classic films, and reviews on other things as well. And don't forget to ring that bell because we're going to probably continue on with the Friday the 13th franchise. With Friday the 13th, Jason lives in the next review. So make sure you tune in for that. And watch out for all those aliens trying to abduct us because, well, who would want to abduct us dumb humans? But whatever. It is what it is. And I guess I'll see you all in the next review. So until then, cheers.